long-term contract extension ahead of the 21 season. One insider says it, quote, feels like there's a very long way to go. Dallas has until March 9th to place the franchise tag on Dak for a second straight season, which gives the two sides until July to discuss a long-term deal. And Dak might have more leverage this offseason since the cap-strapped Cowboys would have to pay him $37.7 million if he plays under the franchise tag in 2021. All right, LeVar, will Dallas regret it if they don't lock up Dak long-term this offseason?
I have to jump out there and say, no, they won't regret it. And I think, it's unfortunate, but the reason why franchise tags are frowned upon in so many ways is because of there not being longevity for safety or just comfort and commitment from the team. They're basically giving you a one-year deal. And although it's a lot of money, there's no longevity there. There's no securities there. And we saw it happen, and it was horrible that it did. But he hurt himself, and it was a horrific injury. If they were going to give Dak that contract that Dak was looking for, it would have happened last season, Jason. The problem here is that maybe Dak and his agents are pushing for a number that just isn't going to be a realistic due or buy-in from the Dallas Cowboys. So you pose the question, is it a mistake for Dallas to not? Will they regret this, not getting this done? Whereas I look at this as, what is that sweet spot? What is that number that you can get to gain that longevity, knowing that you played your cards, you played your hands, and you lost by getting injured? So I'm looking at Dak and his representation, and I'm saying, is it a regret if him and his representation doesn't get a deal done that's a long-term deal? May not be as much as you wanted, but is it the right deal for you to have some security, a little bit of longevity, and understanding that, you know what, if I continue to play and do something well, that maybe we'll throw this one out and do a different contract, Chris?
LeVar, this must be the linebacker in you, man.
Okay.
Because you clearly have it out for quarterbacks. Yesterday,
really
Seattle doesn't need Russell Wilson. Be gone, Russ. We don't need you. And now Dallas is fine without Dak Prescott.
It's the business of it.
I ain't mad at you. You were a defensive guy. I get it. But now, look, I think it'd be horrible for the Cowboys if they don't sign Dak Prescott. And I get it. I'm not mistaking him for Pat Mahomes or Aaron Rodgers or anybody like that. However, Dak Prescott,
but giving that money,
I believe, has proven he's with the money.
He ain't them.
So they're going to
pay him that money.
tag.
Pay him the same money as them, but he ain't them. I'm just saying, Chris Broussard.
But that's just the nature of the business. That's just the nature of the business.
If that was the nature of the business, they would have gave it to him.
It's not just about how much you're worth. It's about the time of your signing. All right? And if they messed this up years ago, they should have signed Dak 2 years ago. They probably could have got him for an average of less than $30 million a year. I'm almost certain they would have, and they'd be fine. They could have signed him last year for what, $35 million a year over 4 years. They insisted on 5. They blew it. Now, I think they're going to sign him, and it is going to be at an average of about $40 million a year. And it's unfortunate because I agree he's not worth that type of money, but he is a franchise quarterback. And it is not easy to get a franchise quarterback. I know now the thinking is that we can draft a guy and we can have him on his rookie year for a few years. And while he's on his rookie scale, we can build around him and win a Super Bowl. That's happened with 2 teams. All right, Pat Mahomes, who may be the greatest to ever do it when it's all said and done, and Russell Wilson, who had this all-time phenomenal defense, the Legion of Boom. Otherwise, name the young quarterback who won the Super Bowl recently in his rookie scale. So that's a fallacy. Franchise quarterbacks don't grow on trees. Even when young guys do start off well, Jared Goff, Carson Wentz, we don't know if they're going to remain there. I've got to see it for 4 years or so, and I've seen it with Dak. Dak Prescott, through his first 4 years, had more wins than any wins than any quarterback, LeVar.
Broussard.
Not named Tom Brady or Russell Wilson.
Have you had your brain coffee yet, Broussard? Because your brain is sleep on that statement right there. Your brain is sleep, player. Come on. Come on.
You're talking feelings.
You don't mean that.
All right,
You're
let me jump in here,
feelings.
Listen.
I'm talking facts.
All right, so Chris is kind of right, LeVar. We have to give him credit. Dallas did screw this up, right? We all agree that Jerry could have got this done a couple years ago. But, Chris, LeVar is onto something here. There is the option where you say, you know what? We haven't been to a Super Bowl in, 25 years? Our Super Bowl drought can drive a rental car. That's how bad it's been for us right now. Maybe we just let Dak walk in free agency and start over. Why? Because, Chris, if you end up signing him to that $37.7 million franchise tag, or even a 5-year deal, giving him Mahomes-ish money or Deshaun Watson money, you're going to be so cap-strapped, you're going to have to lose Leighton Vander Esch, and you're going to have to be losing Michael Gallup and all these ancillary pieces. And, Chris, I got to be honest with you. For me, Dak Prescott, he's kind of like my Netflix subscription, right? The price keeps going up, and I don't know if the quality is getting better. I really don't know if he's made that leap from, as you said, really good quarterback who's won a lot of games to can take you to a Super Bowl. You only want to talk about winning the Super Bowl? What about Jared Goff getting to the Super Bowl on his rookie contract? Then they got to pay him. Yikes, this guy stinks. Let's kick him to the curb. Carson Wentz on the rookie deal. Eagles get to the Super Bowl. I know it was Nick Foles at quarterback. Then you got to pay Wentz. Oh, my gosh, we can't build a team. Kick him to the curb. I do believe there is a nuclear option for Dallas where you say, you know what? We want Dak for 5. He only wants 4 because he wants to come back to the table in 4 years and get another massive contract. I think we just part ways now. We punt, and we got to hit the reset button because, guys, this is not a Super Bowl team. LeVar, you'd agree with me. They ain't winning the Super Bowl next year with Dak Prescott.
And that's the reason why Goff and Wentz got paid. You will admit that, right, Broussard? I mean, let's be clear here. They got paid because their teams made it to the Super Bowl, yes? Are we okay with agreeing on that?
And they were playing well at that point.
They were playing,
yes, but they were playing well
fairly well. They were playing fairly well. And you know what? Dak Prescott has played fairly well at times. In fact, I am one who said he should have been in the conversation for MVP the year before, not this year where he got hurt, but the year before. So, but they have not been competitive enough to justify paying him that type of money. If we're saying he's a winner, he has won. But what has he won outside of winning? And that might sound like an oxymoron, and I get that. And it might have flew over some of y'all's heads, and I get that. But what has he really won, Chris? What has he really won? What, he's made it out of, the first round of the playoffs? Is that how far he's made it, to the second round of the playoffs?
He won a playoff game.
Okay, so here's my thing. Here's my thing. If you're looking at the success that Jerry Jones is seeking when he thought he had a Super Bowl-ready team to play, are we looking at this Dallas Cowboys team and saying they're closer to being a Super Bowl caliber team this year, personnel-wise, than what they've been in the last 2 years? I would say no. I would not look at this team. Ezekiel has been a disappointment. Their offensive line has been a disappointment. Their receiving core, far and wide, if you're looking at what you projected them to be, has been a disappointment. Their defense has been a disappointment. Their coaching staffs have been a disappointment. Let me think about it. Their whole entire team has been a disappointment. So why are you going to take and make an investment where if you franchise tag him, it's 37. He wanted somewhere around 38, 39, close to 40. Why are you going to pay him that in a franchise tag, or pay him that in annual payout fees, signing bonuses?